guys already know. If you follow me on Twitter, you should already know what's about to happen. Okay? I don't know why I'm still sitting when I could be laying down. But like, god damn! It's time to fucking lose our shit, boys! About Call of Duty YouTubers. Okay? So, today's date is June the 19th. 2018, and it's a Tuesday, okay? DLC 3 for this lovely game, Call of Duty World War II, you know, it's your boy, has just been announced. DLC 3 just got announced a couple hours ago. I was not home at the time. Well, I was home when it was announced, but I didn't watch anything at the time because I was just leaving to go and do some real life shit, okay? Then, what happened? There wasn't any zombies in the goddamn main trailer, okay? And I was about to say main multiplayer trailer, because it was. And then every goddamn YouTuber in their dog went on either Twitter or YouTube or both and was losing their shit about it. Mr. Raffle Waffles made a 19-minute video. Only like 3.5 was of watching the trailer. Then the rest of it was ranting about Activision mugging you off. That was the title, with warning at the beginning. First off, I don't think that makes sense grammatically and within the English language, even in England. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I honestly don't think it does, but that's not what we're here to point out. We're here to point out that this man talked for about 16 minutes about how Activision is ripping you off. And his reasoning is he's salty about the Black Ops Pass, of which we're going to get into that too. Okay, so he's talking about the Black Ops Pass and he's saying because World War II Zombies didn't get featured in this trailer, to have like a 4 or 5 second snippet. Now I'm here to tell you, okay, when I went on Twitter after I got back and after I watched about halfway through that video because I just couldn't watch the full thing, but after I got about halfway through, I went on Twitter. I didn't tweet anything, but I went on Twitter. I looked at Cameron Dayton, the lead of Zombies for Sledgehammer, his Twitter, and he literally said, don't worry lads, there's gonna be a separate trailer for Zombies, which means you're going to get more than about 5 seconds of Zombies in a fucking trailer for the 3rd DLC. First off. Second off, I was saying that before, I'm pretty sure before Cameron Dayton even said that, because I saw a bunch of Nick Saru tweets talking about it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, Nick Saru was like, no zombies in the trailer, what a joke. The fact of how impatient you people are is the real joke here, okay? And don't laugh at the fact that I'm only using infantry. It makes it that way I can have all the fucking attachments in the universe. But back to the point of this video, okay, or live stream and then video, is that, like, for the love of all that is holy, people, I predicted the fact that there was going to be a separate zombie trailer before Cameron Dayton even said it. This is stupid. I have no insider information, but I know for a fact that you all are losing your minds over stupid shit. Okay? We're gonna get into the Black Ops Pass here in a minute, but like, oh, DLC 3. So far, I'm liking how it's looking. Another thing I want to laugh at is how, oh, Garage Krovi is the greatest map of all time. I'm gonna promise you, from just what I saw in the DLC 3 trailer for World War II, their Stalingrad, from what I saw in that trailer alone, looked better and more accurate to Stalingrad than Treyarch did for Black Ops 3 Zombies. Not for World at War. When they did Vendetta there, that that was pretty decently accurate from what I know of Stalingrad. But, you know, that's also not the point of this video. But god damn, people, like I have nothing but like pent up aggression towards a bunch of you. Like I want to make this very, very clear, okay? I don't hate Milo, I don't hate Nixaru, I don't hate any YouTubers at all. I genuinely love most of their content. I genuinely think they're pretty great people. I haven't met any of them really, but I genuinely think that they have their hearts are in the right places. But fuck me, are they goddamn just so they anger me so much. Like 9 times out of 10 nowadays, I can't sit through a Milo video or a Nixaru video or even a Dalek video. Reason being is because a lot of the time I find now that their content in between Treyarch games is very, 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 very like just seemingly uninspired, and they're only posting because they have to try and keep up consistency, and they're posting just nonsense to me. And like for example with Nixaru, I said this in his comments section, and again I tweeted him at this earlier. I don't mean to be rude or angry or come across as like I hate you, Nixaru. It's literally I just try to challenge what you're saying and to question a bunch of things, because it's in my nature, honestly. I'm a very questioning person about a lot of shit. But the thing I just find so goddamn like odd about his content right now is like in one breath he'll be talking about how the timeline says this and the timeline that and the timeline. But the problem I have is something I brought up in one of my other videos where I was talking about Treyarch and DC and talking about the multiverses and stuff like that. The thing I was saying was talking about how we know from what Jason Blundell has told us that the timeline that we have, the Zombie Chronicles timeline, which is supposedly the Kernorium, a page from the Kernorium, which again, that's fine, whatever. It depends and is biased towards the reader. So just because it says it on the timeline doesn't mean it actually happened that way. And I have a lot of things that I'm going to get to later as well, talking about how I feel about Black Ops 4 and the directions that it's taking and things like that as well. And just, we're going to get into a lot of topics here, but they're all basically, centered around the concepts and the ideas of like people just sharing a lot of things that I'm like, why? But back to the point about talking about the timeline. We know that the timeline is biased towards Richtofen. The one that we see is biased towards Richtofen. Things only happen in his reading. So it's like if you were to pick up a book, pretty much he's only seeing in 3 dimensions. Well, as we know now, with our new storyline, there's more than just those 3 dimensions, and there's so many more things to that where it's just like there's a lot that might not actually be the exact case. So just because it says it on the timeline doesn't make it true, but it doesn't make it not true. It's still all, this is like the centralized, more or less what the canon is. There's certain things that are really, really hard to make a case against, but there's plenty of the things that are easy to debate about still. The canon is still not this rock solid, set in stone foundation, or even if it is set in stone, stones can break. This isn't like, you know, a holy writ, everything that happened kind of thing, okay? And that's the problem I have with Nixaru videos, is that he constantly is like, hey, this is the timeline, but then he also goes in other breaths and other videos, this might be the case of something like this, and we just might not see it on the timeline. Well, why, if you love the timeline so much, why wouldn't it all be? Now let's move on to the Black Ops Pass, okay? I understand your, and by your I mean YouTuber and everyone's concerns about the Black Ops Pass being such a odd concept of like I have all of the DLC or none of the DLC. I cannot buy them separate. But here's something that you didn't really consider, is that you can actually, well, I don't know this for a fact, but there's other games that have this sort of same example where you can turn off your matchmaker to be looking for games that do or don't have DLC. You can make it so that way your DLC is turned off. That is a doable thing. Look at how the Black Ops 3 system is with supply drop exclusive weapons. The weapons that are exclusive to supply drops are turned off, and the only time you can use them is if you pick them up off of somebody else. I'm sorry, because I'm hungry. It's midday. But anyway, this just annoys me about everything. Is I get it. You don't like the fact that.
Incoming enemy artillery. Get to cover.
Remember, I need to use an SMG. Why is this so loud? Yeah. Okay, I'm turning that down. All right, cool. Now, but the Black Ops Pass, like I said, they're likely gonna what the hell? Okay. The chances are that, like, honestly speaking, you, me, and any other fucking person on the planet complaining about the Black Ops Pass probably isn't going to change anything about the Black Ops Pass or it being in existence. I can almost guarantee you that it's just not going to change much of anything. What it might change is that there probably will be some sort of functionality and thing that happens where they add a feature like what I was just talking about, where you can turn off your matchmaker to make it so that your matchmaker isn't looking for games that have DLC maps or don't have DLC maps, things like that. Okay, that's pretty much all you're gonna get for change. And realistically, when you're looking at the Black Ops Pass, as in statistically speaking, I feel as though there's probably a far less number of people. Jesus. There's probably far less people that go out and buy independent DLCs than there are people that just buy the season pass every year, because it's just easier that way. And as far as I'm aware, you always have and probably always will we always will be saving money at the end of the day. If you buy the season pass, you'll probably be saving about $15 or so, or whatever the hell else you want to fucking use it on. But you're still saving money that you can later use for some sort of other purpose. What in the world is happening? I'm lagging, but I'm not barring down, and it's great. And like, realistically, you're still getting the same amount of content within the Black Ops Pass. Actually, you're getting more. And if you want to talk about the whole like how they're releasing it, like they're releasing it more frequently but less. Like they might, because if stuttering a lot. Jesus Christ, game. But just with the fact that there's going to be 12 multiplayer maps released, and there's 12 months in the year, highly likely that it's going to be that each like different map gets released. That's a DLC map, I'm talking. Each DLC map just gets released one brand new one every single month. That's probably going to be how it's going to go, and that is actually beneficial, not not actually bad, because if they're doing that, then it makes it that way every month, and every so often people are coming back and having some sort of consistency and being like, oh cool, I want to come in and play this map, because like, as the game releases, you're gonna have probably a month, maybe more, where you're gonna be just like posting content after content, video after video after video after video, and constantly having shit to post and talk about for like a good month or more. And then all of a sudden you'll you'll probably start to get bored of it, and then you want to go back to Fortnite. Well, then guess what? They release a new map, pulls you back in, makes you want to be like, oh, cool, I want to play the new map. Then they just keep doing that. That's a smart move, and they're trying to make it so that way they can closely match Fortnite's, updating every single day. The difference is that Fortnite will always be able to outdo every other game, because Fortnite will forever be in beta, and beta games don't have anywhere near as harsh of a whole testing process and things like that when they're in beta. Beta games don't have as many issues of getting patches through, because as far as Sony and Microsoft and them are concerned, you're just releasing something to try and better your game to getting to a 1.0 version. But it's not going to happen for a long ass time for Fortnite, because Fortnite, that's literally one of Fortnite's only things that it has going for it. So that's why Call of Duty is starting to be like, okay, let's try to make it that way. We not only have the Battle Royale mode, but we're going to have constant, monthly and probably weekly, not necessarily updates, but hot fixes and updates and different things happening all the time. So that way the game is constantly having things happening. And look at where COD World War II is. We're in an event right now, and they are going to keep wanting to do this and have events happen all the time. Why? Because that's just the smartest thing to do for a Call of Duty, now that Fortnite's challenged the market to change that way. It's going, whether we like it or not, the market's going to change, whether we like it or not, it's just going to happen. But the difference is that instead, we're gonna have this with a AAA game that actually isn't in beta anymore, and it's gonna be and then you guys are gonna, well, not just you, but everyone's gonna be 20 times more harsh on it because it's not in beta. Versus Fortnite's permanently in beta, so if they make a mistake, you're just like, oh, it's okay, they're still in beta. So that's a lot of things to rant about there. It's just Fortnite versus Call of Duty, and it's not because I dislike Fortnite. I gave Fortnite a good chance. I even have a stream on my channel of me playing Fortnite, and I talk about it in that video where I'm just I don't see the draw of this. But I don't know, guys. You can like or dislike whatever you. I'm just saying what I feel about everything here. So but anyways, lads and lassies, I don't know, there's not much I can say about how everything is, except for just the fact that people need to be more patient, and they need to understand how things are from the other side. Stop being so judgmental and get your shit together and start realizing that this is the thing that gets me too, is that people are constantly like, oh, Call of Duty needs to innovate, Call of Duty needs to this, or not even just Call of Duty, but they're like, innovate, and then as soon as someone breaks your normal standard or something you're used to, you're just like, oh, what, this is so shit, and all this other kind of crap. And it's just what is the point of being like that, at all? I just don't understand why you'd want to be like that towards anything to do with anything. Honestly. So, I don't know. Again, this is just the opinions of a guy on the internet. So, take it with a grain of salt, or don't, or whatever you want to do. I have no, I'm not always right, and neither are you. No one really is, and that's just the thing, is we need to all realize that there's more to existence than always being assholes to one another and getting on this train of hating everything and everyone to ever exist, and just, yeah, I don't know. This is something I felt I needed to do, just because I was just like, if I don't do this, I'm going to just feel like I'm just harboring in a lot of feelings that I probably shouldn't be doing. So anyways, that's gonna do it for this stream. I'm sorry the gameplay was a little bit lackluster. This is just something I wanted to just kind of get off of my chest, and kind of just throw out there to be like, listen. And I do hope you enjoyed my rants, if rants are things that you tend to enjoy, because I know some people really enjoy ranting or getting rants and it's on the internet. But anyways, thank you so much for coming on by. Like I said, I do apologize about the lackluster gameplay. I can't play when I'm ranting. So yeah, and be on the lookout for some DLC 3 stuff as it comes out, and of course Black Ops 4 beta stuff, and I'm looking forward to possibly doing an Overwatch podcast someday soon. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Could happen, might not, I don't know. But we'll see what happens, and thank you so much, and we'll see you later.